Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody opinion of you determine yourself.
What's up, everybody? It is your dude, Lorenzo, coming to you with another episode of the Let That Marinate podcast. It's Thursday. It's a beautiful day. I'm feeling good, feeling amazing. I went and worked out today, came back, did some reading, did some praying, did some meditating, and I'm just feeling good, man. Just feeling great. God is good. Life is good. I'm just thankful and grateful, man. I hope you're having a good day as well. I hope you're feeling blessed. As a matter of fact, I know you are blessed because, hey, God blessed you to wake up too, right? He blessed us with another opportunity to live this thing called life. So we should live it to the fullest. But no matter what, always be grateful, always be thankful, right? Because it could have been the other way around. Millions didn't make it, but we're one of the ones who did. So we should always be grateful and always give God glory for that. So check it out, right? I wanted to touch on a topic that doesn't get talked about, right? And that's why I created this podcast, because I just want to talk about things that isn't talked about, especially when it comes to men and what we go through, right? And this particular topic, I know a little something about it. I've experienced it myself, and it's life after divorce, right? And I wanted to talk about it because I feel like there's a big misconception regarding men and divorce, right? First of all, divorce is not an easy thing for anybody, right? Life after divorce isn't easy. It's a daunting journey for all of us, right? But I think people have this huge misconception when it comes to men regarding divorce, because of course people automatically, you know, label us as the villains when it comes to divorce, right? They're thinking that, we may have cheated, we may have abused, we may have done something. Regardless of what it is, 9 times out of 10, we are the cause of divorce. And people also think that, once a man is divorced, he just moves on and he just live his life, and he's happy and he's doing his thing and he's just out here wilding out. Trust me, we're not. We're not. Divorce is never easy. Again, it's not easy for anyone, but for men, oh, it is definitely, definitely not an easy thing. Um, as a matter of fact, um, a lot of us fall into a deep depression after divorce, right? We because it's the reality of knowing that we couldn't fix it. It's the reality of knowing that we lost the love of our lives, we lost the family dynamic, we lost the connection. You know, we realize that we've invested so much of ourselves into that marriage and into our lady, and the reality of losing all that, that's one of the hardest things for us to get over. And you never really fully recover from it. And that's one of the most challenging things about, post divorce, is trying to make those adjustments, trying to you know figure out the path to recover. Like, it's one of the toughest challenges ever. And I think, and again, yes, divorce is not easy for anyone, but for a man, the path is just so imbued with all kinds of challenges and struggles and obstacles and distractions. Like, that it's so much that's just, it's like it's just in the way. you know it's so much that just, it's like it's trying to stop us from healing and trying to stop us from recovering, you know and of course, this, when it comes to this demographic, it's often faced with all kinds of societal, stereotypes and prejudice. And again, people automatically assume that the man is the villain. So it's like we're also faced with that, right? We're also faced with having to hear all kinds of false narratives and negative things about us. And there's always this negative connotation attached to uh, the man and divorce. Oh, he must have cheated. He must have, abused her, or he must have did something. Like it's all like it's we're always labeled the villain, right? And here's the thing. It's nearly 70% of women initiate divorce, right? Regardless of what the reason is. Nearly 70% of women initiate divorce. So not only are we faced with all of those challenges, but we're also faced with the fact that we're trying to heal from something that wasn't even our choice, right? Because contrary to popular belief, we're not looking to get a divorce. We may get upset, we may get angry, and we may want to step away, but we're not looking to divorce. We're not looking to do that. And the crazy thing is, yeah, we may be out here, we may get out here and we may party it up with our boys, and we're just trying to have fun, and we're just trying to distract ourselves from what we're going through. But in the back of our minds, we're like, you know what? I need to get home and I need to fix this. Like I need to go home and I need to make things right. Because when things aren't right between husband and wife, nothing feels right. Absolutely nothing. Nothing feels right. And you're not going to feel right until you get it right. Right? So we're not looking to divorce our wives. We're not. And what a lot of people don't realize is it takes a lot for a man to open up that side of himself, that emotional side. It takes a lot for him to, be vulnerable and express his feelings. So when we're able to do that though, and please know, ladies, please understand, our emotions is our most prized possession. People may not know that, but it's our most prized possessions, is our emotions, right? Like we love to express ourselves. We love to show our emotional side. But because of the because of the stigma that's been placed on us, it makes it hard for us to do it, right? So when we get with someone that creates that safe space for us to do so, it's like the best thing ever. It's the best feeling ever to be able to open up that side of ourselves, to you. It's the best feeling ever. Being able to say, "Hey, I love you," right? Expressing how great it feels to just be with you and just be around you. Like we love that feeling, right? Because we're not hiding, we're not keeping anything, on the inside. We're releasing everything that we been looking to do, right? So when we lose all of that, that is one of the toughest things to deal with. That is one of the toughest things to deal with. The fact that the fact of everything that I've always wanted, I no longer have. That is a tough blow for us. So the journey of recovering from a divorce is not easy for a man at all, right? I mean, and then it's like the experience of being a divorced man, is so multifaceted, because it involves emotional and financial and social, and like it involves so much adjustment, right? Like we're trying to adjust to not having what we've always wanted, to now we have to we have to rediscover ourselves, right? We have to, find new interests. We have to find, you know, we got to try new things. And the idea of starting over, no one wants to do that, right? Starting over, like no one wants to do that. Like that's too much stress. That's too much energy. Like that's just too much time, right? Like no one wants to start over. So it's like, when it's like when you're on this path, when you're on this journey to healing and to recovering, it's it's the adjustments, it's the challenges, it's the struggles, of trying to figure it out. Like trying to find ways to deal with the hurt and the pain. And mentally and emotionally, we're all over the place, right? So we tend to go out and do stupid shit. We tend to, go out and make poor decisions, and our behavior is poor, and we may even try to involve ourselves in new situations, with other women, because and honestly, excuse me, and honestly, involving ourselves with other women, um, we're not. It's not like we're looking for a new relationship. We're just looking for a distraction, right? We're looking for a distraction because we don't want to face the reality, and the reality is, I wish I would have done something different. I wish I would have fixed it when I had the opportunity to fix it. I wish I could just have that back. But the reality is, it's gone. I can't get it back. So now I'm left with, you know, now I'm left with my brokenness, and I'm left with all this pain and all this hurt, right? Like that's what we're faced with. But when you're really struggling with it, you don't want to deal with it. So you try to find any kind of distraction that you can, not to face it. But I'm gonna be honest with you, fellas. The best way to recover and to heal is to first own up to it, right? Own the fact that yes, you could have done something different. Accept the fact that yes, divorce is happening. Just acknowledge everything, and not acknowledge the reality, and also just own the fact that you're hurting, right? Just own the fact that you're in pain and it don't feel good. Like it's okay to admit that the shit just don't feel good. Divorce does not feel good. Just admit it. You have to feel everything. You have to confront everything. You can't keep running from it. You can't keep trying to distract yourself and trying to find temporary things to help you deal with what's really going on. And what's really going on is you're in pain. You're hurting. You're struggling. You're battling. Like you're really dealing with, a lot. And you just have to own that, bro. You just have to own it, man. Because the longer you prolong, the longer you know the longer you're in denial, right? The longer you're in denial, the more you put off what you're really feeling, the the more it's just going to hurt. Right? The more it's just going to hurt, because yeah, you may be distracting yourself, you know for a moment, and it may have taken your mind off of it. But when you get by yourself and you sit around the crib, or you sitting in your car or whatever, and it hits you, dude, when it hits you, it really hits you. and it really fucks with you, right? So you can't keep putting off what you're feeling. Again, it's okay to say that this doesn't feel good. It's okay to say this just doesn't feel right. It's okay to admit that you're hurting. Like, you can't keep engulfing yourself in this huge conflagration, because at some point you're gonna explode. You're gonna blow up. So cry as much as you need to, feel whatever pain you need to feel. You got to go through it though. You have to go through it. You have to go through it though. If healing and recovering, if that's really the goal, you got to go through the process first. You got to. You can't, and that's definitely a process that you can't rush. When you know you're not ready to involve yourself in anything, right? Don't do it. Plain and simple. Just don't do it. And trust me, it's a lonely experience. It's definitely a lonely experience when you're going through a divorce, right? Particularly for those who've been in long-term marriages, even long-term relationships, it could be a very lonely process. You know what I'm saying? And it can even lead you to, like I said before, it can lead you to doing some stupid shit. It can lead you to doing some really crazy, stupid stuff, making poor choices, you know. Um, it 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 could be a pretty devastating experience, you know. But again, you just got to go through it. You just got to go through it, man. Deal with it the best way that you can, but make sure that you're doing it in a proper manner, right? Like a lot of people, like a lot of people, they used to say this back in the day, and I think they still do. The best way to get over someone is to get underneath them or on top of them, whatever you know, whatever tickles your fancy. But at the end of the day, that's not the best way to do it. That's not the best way to go about it, because there is this thing called soul ties. That is a real thing. So you can't lay down with everybody, and you definitely shouldn't do it when you know you're still hurting from, when you know you're still hurting, when you know you're still struggling and battling with not being with the person that you've been with for so long, right? So you definitely don't want to just involve yourself with anybody, you know, just to help you get over, you know, your last relationship or your last marriage. That don't always work. Like, why would you want to do that anyway when you know you're not over that person? What makes you think laying down with another person is going to help you get over the other person? Because here's the thing that a lot of us have. We have a conscience. And when we understand that we're not in a good place emotionally, when we know we're still battling with the fact that I'm no longer with the person that I fell in love with, we know we're not ready for anything. We're so convicted, and we're so, you know, like, our conviction, I'm going to tell you something. Our conviction does way more hurt than anything. Ladies, I don't care what it is that you try to do to get back at a man. Trust me, his conviction does more than you can ever do. Right? So chances are, when we're going through that, we're not looking to do anything we're not looking to do anything that we know is not gonna help us. We know we're not gonna involve ourselves in anything that's not gonna be fulfilling. That's not gonna, you know, that's not gonna help us. Like I said, help us get to that place we want to be in. Because chances are we don't even like mentally we don't even feel like it. Emotionally, we know we're not available. You know, and sometimes our minds, you know, have to tell us that. You know, it has to let us know, hey, look, I don't know what you call yourself doing, but you know you don't want to do this. You know you don't want to. You know you don't want to do this. So what you doing it for? Right? Like we will tell ourselves, you know, now don't get me wrong, now we will try to talk ourselves out of a situation or talk ourselves into a situation, right? Especially when we're hurting. Like if we really want to get over something, if we really just want to, you know, not deal with the hurt, we're going to talk ourselves into something that deep down we know we don't want. We know we don't want to involve ourselves in anything. We know we don't want to be around anybody. We know we don't want to, you know, be sociable. We don't, you know, we know that we don't want to, you know, be physically intimate with anyone. Like we know that. But again, we'll talk ourselves, you know, into, you know, getting into a situation because we're just so hurt and we're so broken and we're so deeply wounded. We just want to take away the pain. Just even if it's just for a moment. But in our minds, but in our minds, and again, we got that conscience, and and in the back of our minds, we're telling ourselves, you know, you don't want to do this. You know, you don't want to do this. So why are you doing it? But what's crazy is we don't realize that till after the fact. So now we're walking around here even feeling more worse because we knew we didn't want to do it, but we did it anyway. Right? So again, life after divorce is never easy, especially for a man, ladies. Life after divorce is never easy. And there's in this misconception, this false narrative, right? Like this premature notion that, you know, that men are looking to get divorced, that men want divorce. Trust me. We're not looking to get divorced. We're not looking to leave you. We're not looking to end things with you. We're not looking for that. But when it happens, it tears us up. It really does. It tears us up. Took me a while to recover. Took me a while to get to a point to where, you know, I feel like I'm healed and I feel like I'm in a much better place mentally, emotionally. But it was a struggle. It was a struggle and it was a pain and a hurt that I never want to experience again. So yeah, life after divorce, it's not easy. It is not easy. And I strongly encourage all those who are married, fix it. Fix whatever the problem is. Do what you got to do to, you know, get things back on track. If you got to go to counseling, go to counseling. You know, seek a mediator. You know, someone who's going to be neutral, someone who's going to listen to both sides. You know, and try to help come up with some sort of resolve so y'all can get back on the same page. So I'm encouraging all married couples right now to fix whatever the problem is. And don't allow anything to come in and tear y'all apart. Don't allow the wrong energy. Don't create that space, man. Do not create space for the wrong type of energy to come in and tear y'all up and make things worse. Don't do it. In other words, keep folks out of your business. Don't go on social media. Don't go telling your friends. Don't go telling family members. Whatever y'all got going on, go to God first. Figure it out. Figure it out. Anyway, that's my time for today. Of course, if I want to talk about it again, I may do a part 2. Who knows? But yeah, I wanted to talk about that today. Because again, it's a lot of things that aren't talked about enough when it comes to men and what we go through. But I felt the need to talk about that. So I hope you enjoy the podcast. Continue to show me some love. Continue to support. Again, follow me on all social media platforms. Subscribe to YouTube. And hey, man, stay blessed. Stay amazing. And no matter what, keep God first. Let that marinate. Salute.
Hey, thank you for not believing in me. Yes, Lord. Anybody listening right now, don't never let nobody's opinion of you determine yourself.